Good evening, everyone. Can we all hear me? Can we all
I
hear
can
me?
hear
Good
you
evening,
from this
everyone.
side.
Okay.
I can.
Innocent, can you hear me? Yes, Innocent, we are live. Let's take the floor. Innocent, if you can hear me. Okay. We're waiting for Innocent. NEPA just decided to.
Innocent, please. Landscape.
Okay, better. Yeah. Welcome on board, everybody. Innocent, unmute yourself so that we can hear you.
I thought so. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can. Better.
Okay.
We are hearing you.
Okay, so welcome guys to the program this evening. It's nice to have everybody back. If you are on this live and you hear us,
Go ahead. Go ahead. Don't worry. Go ahead. Innocent, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Terry, are you on? Are you paused?
Go ahead, Innocent. Terry, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
there's kind of some delay. I don't know, Innocent, what's happening? Your network.
or something. Is it my connection? Can you guys hear me now?
Yes, I hear you. Yes, we can hear you now. I hear you now.
Okay. I think my connection, my router is connected.
Okay. So,
Why?
so you're back now.
We are welcoming. We have here. I am Innocent, and Dr. Terry on the program today, and we are basically going to be discussing parenting. If you saw our posts earlier today or during the week, we posted the topic of discussion for today. So we're going to be looking at parenting and how
His network has kicked him out again. So essentially, um, the topic before us this evening, while we wait for Innocent to come back online, the topic before us is so while we wait for Innocent to come back, these are network issues. Technology will always play its role. Um, this is essentially talking about uh, parenting styles. We're talking about parenting styles, what works and why. Um, so we just go ahead to lay the foundation of the program tonight. And by way of introduction, like we earlier did, we are welcoming every one of us to this live. If you are on live with us and you'd like to join us by as we discuss in the course of this program, please feel free to drop drop your comments telling us that you would like to join us. So I will bring you up. We'll send you the link for you to join this call. So, what is the need for parenting? Why do we have to be discussing um, parenting styles? Why? What is the importance of this discourse tonight? We are discussing this topic because of the seemingly challenge that we have in this time and age. Um, it is expedient that topics like this are properly looked into because um, in times like this we have influences. We have more decadence in the world now because of um, because of I'm bringing them in because of we're having decadence because of influences from social media, from the world is not a global village, so it makes it difficult for parents, for present parents um, to do their job. parenting is a full-time business. It's not part-time. So the it is essential that we have adequate skill or adequate knowledge. Let me put it that way. It's better put adequate knowledge to be able to grasp with what is happening right now. So that's why we are not child care as experts as to tell you that this is the um, way that you should bring up your children. But out of our experience, out of the experiences we've had, and by the kind of jobs we do, and by we ourselves being parents, we are sharing from our knowledge, and that's why we are encouraging people that are on this call that if you have um, things to add to what we will be saying tonight, just to help every one of us, please feel free to just indicate interest that you want to join us. So it is highly important that we join, I mean, that we discuss this topic because we know that it is the children of today that will shape the world of tomorrow. So if we get the foundation properly laid, if we get the foundation um, properly laid, like I said, then we'll know that it will transit to a better nation and the world will be better for it. So that's just about the foundation or introduction as to why we are discussing um, this topic tonight. So, me any addition before we move further?
Hello?
Yes.
Sorry, my network went down at the time. Are you done with the introduction now?
Yes, I was asking any addition to what I just said. Did you get me?
My network went down at the time. You done with the introduction?
Yes.
No, we're
I was
still
asking.
trying to test run this platform. Um, for now, um, I'm noticing some glitches with the sound. Hopefully, we can get to the root of and sort it going forward. Yeah, but I think you've mentioned a believe that they are good parents and we continue to have dysfunctional adults. Research has shown that parenting has great influence on the adults that the society produce. So I think it would also be an important reason why we should be interested in this topic.
Okay. So we hand over to Innocent to kindly go ahead with anchoring the tonight's session.
Yeah, I think my network is pretty poor. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for keeping us running during the time the network was poor. Can you guys hear me well
Yes, we can. Go ahead.
and see me too? If you can hear me well and see me as well, let me know.
We can. We can. We can. Go ahead. Innocent network is very bad. So the network has been pretty bad
I think
tonight.
just
So I don't know.
continue without for now.
So like while I so Dr. Tumi, we're going to be talking now. The next after we've just done some brief introduction because we have 1 hour to 2 hours for this discussion tonight. So uh, I would like to ask what are the parenting styles that that are there for people to know and to adopt?
Okay, thank you so much for the question. There are various theories around parenting style, but I will just talk about the classification, which is like it's more common, where parenting styles are classified into four. I will start with the first two, which tend to be the commoner one. So we have the authoritarian type of parenting and the permissive type of parenting. I think those are the commonest. Unfortunately, they present issues. So for the authoritarian type of parenting, we tend to have a situation whereby the um, name sounds, they tend to dwell so much on they tend to dwell so much on fear, creating fear in the child, such that they're able to achieve a very compliant child who will likely obey their instructions. These children may this kind of parenting has very good responsiveness, but in terms of nurturing and emotions, is very poor. F- there's a tendency for children that come from this kind of household to grow up as very good children, but might become deviant in future towards adulthood, as they might have a tendency to once they become free from that yoke of their parents, they might want to express themselves differently, and so that is one of the disadvantages. Another disadvantage of this type of parenting is that there's a thin line between disciplining and abuse for people who practice this kind of parenting. So a lot of societies these days tend to move away from authoritarian type of parenting and are moving more towards permissive parenting, which is the second I want to talk about. So in permissive type of parenting, the relationship between the parents and the child is a friend has for his fellow friend. The main problem with that is that there is few boundaries set between the parents and the child, and children may not be able to understand the, the actual relationship that should exist between them and their parents. There's a good side to this type of parenting, and which is that the parents are usually highly responsive to the needs of the child. But like I said before, the main issue continues to be that of lack of boundaries. It's shown that children who grow up from this kind of household may have a tendency to struggle with self discipline and obeying authority. It's more of a lenient and laid back style of parenting, but it has its good and bad sides. And there is a trend for developed societies to adopt this style of parenting. However, it's not quite perfect. I will then go to the no kind of parenting, the one that almost all authorities frown against, and that is neglectful parenting. Um, this usually reflects a lack of responsiveness by the parents who almost do not care, and also there is also a feeling like the child is in charge, so the child gets whatever he wants. There is essentially no boundary, and children that come from this kind of household have been proven to have a higher risk of having emotional imbalances, social um, social deprivations, and other related conditions. So it's quite not encouraged, and if possible, should be avoided. There are hardly any advantages of this style of parenting. The last one, which I kept for the last, because it tends to be what would be encouraged by experts. It's more of a balance between the first two I talk about, which is the authoritarian and the permissive kind of parenting. So, what is the characteristic of this type? In this type, the parents set high standards and expectations, but balance it with good responsiveness. So they are able to assess the needs of their children and act accordingly. Such parents are expected to be warm and expected to provide structure such that children should know what to expect. Research has shown that children that come from this kind of household tend to bet- do better in academics. They tend to be less disobedient, and as they grow older, they tend to be the ones that will suffer less from emotional disturbances such as depression and other antisocial behaviors. They will have better self-esteem, better social skills, and they are better able to manage their emotions. So that's the more reason why we tend to, or experts will tend to recommend this style of parenting. So essentially, I don't know if I've answered your, or if I have been able to answer your question about types of parenting that I know of.
Okay. Innocent. Innocent.
Yeah, I think that was a good one. Am I audible now? Am I clear now?
Yes, you
Can
are.
you hear me well?
You are. You are.
Okay. I'm so sorry. I had this network glitches. I think I changed router. That was why. So yeah, we're given the types of parenting, and also have the suggestion on controversy, and we want to see the challenges that come in implementing tiles that we talked about? What are the common obstacles parents might face when they're trying to implement these tiles? Can we have Tunde talk on that?
Um, okay. You mentioned that we have four different types of the most agreed types of parenting styles are the authoritarian, the authoritative, the neglectful, and and that's the permissiveness. So we've based on um, what has been written or what most scholars wrote, they've come to agree that the authoritative is the best approach to parenting a child. And like in the introduction, we stated that parenting is a full-time job. Full-time in the sense that you're it's not something that you do part-time. It's not something that you just you bring the kids um, to this world and leave them to the hands of maybe your house help. So um, that's why we are discussing this. So to your question as to what parents face in in these styles that you have mentioned, there are many things that could be that we can adduce to as being problems to the adoption of any of these styles. Sometimes it could be total ignorance as to the approach, as to the best approach to handle your children. It could be total ignorance that you do not even know what you are doing is right. Nobody came as there is no such school like uh, parenting university. So most parents just are expected to hit the ground running, right? You you bring the child to this world, and you are expected um, to bring up the child in the best possible way. So and most times again, it could be because of your background. So a product of bad parenting, right, cannot give birth or will not also produce um, good children. So you will not be able to you may the chances of you becoming a good parent is very slim. So if you are from you're a product or you're from parents that have been very abusive of the children or be very neglectful, as one of the parent styles that Tony mentioned, Terry mentioned, um, there is no it is the high chances for you to also produce in that kind is high because a dog will naturally give birth to a dog. So these are some of the challenges why parents find it difficult to implement, even if they know. Most times it's ignorant, and if they know, maybe because of their background, it is difficult for them to do. That is the way they have been taught by their own parents. So they automatically transfer that method to their own children. So that's
I
just
think
my
that
take.
makes sense. Yeah, that's very, very correct. Those 2 points you highlighted are so right. I think this discussion needs to be stimulated, well stimulated. So if you're a parent and you are watching this live, share it to the next parents, okay? Share the live to the next parents and let's have everyone here. Because just as you said, ignorance could just be the only problem here. And there is no school for parenting, and that's why we have here. If you are following our post, you would have seen a post we made earlier today about or did I make it on my feed or on our page? I can't remember, but I made I reposted someone's post that talked about how I wish we have a parenting school or something like that. So you just see people give birth and then you expect them to be parents. It's not often easy. So during the week, or should it be during, let's say during the month, we have a trending video online of a parent and a child, okay? And we feel that it's going to be an interesting one for everyone to see. So we're going to have the technical team take care of that. You're going to show us the video parent and the child and the sensation that was created during the video. Please watch. Okay, I see it's taking time to come up. But let's just pay attention. It's a trending video. Many of us must have seen it. And so we just want to show a clip of it so that you can understand what we're talking about.
So few minutes I'm having issues.
Okay, video is not coming up.
To come up, yes.
So we want you to pay attention to what type of parenting do you see on the video. And then
turn now. You know, gay girl.
You are screenshotting me. Why?
Now comment section. Now comment section screenshot. You dey mad? Why I go screenshot you?
You dey mad? Why you insulting? Don't insult me next time, okay?
Don't insult me. Why I go screenshot
Now you dey insult me. Why will you be insulting me?
What kind of rubbish is that?
You don't know I'm a lady. You don't have respect for a lady. What kind of nonsense is
Why I
that?
go screenshot you? Are you
I don't
okay?
like it.
Come on for your joy. Which kind of rubbish is that? Why I go screenshot you?
Oh, I don't even know how to put this thing again.
Okay.
Oh, don't worry. That's my mom.
Your mom is there.
Yes, now. That's why I say speak with me with respect. Make sure know the you say you be this time. She visited me.
Your mom did that and you did do all this, skinny.
Why not? Is your mom not proud of what you are doing? So
Hey, what me I'm doing? I just a fajani. Ìgbà tí mo gbé ìdí jáde gan mi ò sọ pé àwọn parents mi ti fà mí já lórí kọlù. Bro, your mom dey there. If my dad sit down next to me, I no fit faja for life.
just wait. Let me put on some.
Then I want to come and show.
This motherfucking year, bitch. I ain't really talking about shit in a minute. Like, what the fuck these bitches really think they talking to? Like, bitches, who fucking dumb? Class C in the cup. Got 10 money, get it spun. Like what? Like a close bag, baby, this ain't what you want. If I ask for it, I wanna hear it yes. Bitch says she wanna.
Yeah, I guess that's it. Yeah, so if you watch that video, please comment what type of parenting did you see? Because basically there were two types of parenting that we saw there. We saw the comment from the guy, and then we see the behavior from the lady. There are two types of parenting that we saw there. So please drop your comments in the comment section so that we'll know we are in sync and then somebody is benefiting from this discussion. At this point, we don't have Terry on, but we can go on, right? Yeah. We can go on. Let's look at.
No, I'm here. I'm here. I just noticed that my network is too poor, so I decided to switch off the video temporarily. I don't know what's happening today. It's quite
okay, but okay, good. Okay, that's fine. So let's look at your comments. Okay, I would like to take your comments on the video. Let's have Terry first.
Okay, let me just check. Is there any comments?
Okay, fine.
Somebody
That's
said
fine.
the volume. Is it that people were not
Oh,
hearing?
our
Anyway,
volume. Oh,
yeah.
can they check if it's better now? If they can check, because we're having network issues before, but now I
I
think it's much
guess
stable.
I guess it's the volume of the video because we are quite okay.
Oh,
I'm checking.
oh, oh, the video. Okay, the video you
Yeah,
played.
the video was blasting actually. Actually, so let's go ahead.
So let's
Oh,
have your
okay.
comment today on the video, please. Let's have your comment first today on the video.
Okay. So you have Innocent has just said it that that can you hear me? Can you
Yes,
hear me?
I
Okay,
can hear
because
you.
somebody,
I can
Yes, we are
hear
somebody
you.
hearing
told me
you.
that okay, they said it's okay now. Okay, so what you mentioned that there are two types of parenting there, and it struck me because when I watched that video, I didn't even notice there were two types of parenting. Yes, the guy talked about his own dad, I mean his own mom, and that his mom will not allow that, and the lady's style of parenting was the neglectful. The lady's mom was just being neglected the lady because that is on for God's sake that was a live show. So for if we want to look at that girl or that lady, she will be in the bracket of between 20 to maybe at most 25 or 26, maybe 18 to 26. It's about that age range. So
Do you think her age, the girl's age? No, no,
yes,
no. I'm not sure she's up to that. That girl will
okay,
not be. She will be a teenager.
okay. So
You
okay,
don't know how girls are today.
yeah, okay. So that okay, by that age, so let's say we are looking at maybe um between 15 to at most because
20.
yes, 15 to
Yeah.
20. So and the mom neglected what she was doing on a live social media platform. For God's sake, even if she does not know that this thing is live, but for the fact that she was talking, or she is even aware because she was talking to someone and she was acting, she was responding to what the person. So the mom was quite aware of what was happening, and she neglected the whole scene. So that means that parent fall or the mother fall under the neglectful parents. Why? Now the guy was talking about his own mom. That the mom, if he's by the side of the mom, he dare not. So the mom, he did not expatiate further. So it might be difficult for me to really tell if the mom falls under the authoritarian parent style or the authoritative. Like what Terry said, that the authoritative is a person that gives stringent rules, does not want feedback from the parents, does not even give um, room for the children to air out their own opinion. But that's the authoritarian. But the authoritative will allow the child to even still talk and you tell them why this is this, why we are giving you these rules, this set of rules. So that that guy doing anchoring the live show. The mom falls under either of those two, either the authoritarian or authoritative. Very
Thank you. Thank you for your straightforward comments on this. I would do appreciate your comments. Do you have anything to say about the video, Terry?
Yeah, I think the video was quite a shock when I watched it. When I just saw, I don't know if it's acting because nowadays you don't even know what is real and what is
Yeah.
content anymore. But if it was real, I was shocked because it just basically reflects what you've said, which is neglectful. Um, most children are even as adults, when adults are with their parents, they still have this tendency to want to behave well or try to behave well. That respect is always there. So for her to do all that twerking for a man in front of a man who she has no um intention, or there's no seriousness in the relationship, to be doing that in front of her parents or her mom, it just signifies that there is no boundary. The boundary is lost in that relationship. You brought the idea about the guy's own aspects of his parents. The truth is, we can't really tell which category his parents would be. It could be, they could be like it, Tunde has said, they could be authoritarian, they could be authoritative. It all depends. Um, it all depends on the circumstances, because for both type of parenting, there's usually boundaries, and children would tend to respect that boundary. So we can't really judge for now, from my own opinion. But I think the emphasis should be on that, what we learn from that video in terms of the girls' moms being so relaxed in that atmosphere. We might be wrong, but we would like to hear what people think. Do you think that that was a good example of parenting? That's my comments.
Thank you so much for that, bringing
I'm
it
sorry I
all
won't switch
together.
on my I'm sorry I won't switch on my video for now. I don't really know what's happening with my network, but when I switch it on,
It's
when I
okay.
switch it off, the network
We
improves.
can,
Yeah.
we can hear you clearly, and that's what matters.
Okay.
So now let's look at influence on parenting. What are the things that can influence how parents take care of their children? What are some of these factors that influence parenting? Can we go over to Tunde, please?
Okay. So many things are there that can influence our style of parenting. You know, earlier on when you asked what are the things that affects the way people parent their children, I that's one of the things I mentioned was the background um, of the parent of the present parent, and that could also double for one of the things that influences parenting. You know, how your parents have brought you up is the same is almost the same way you are likely to bring up your own children. Then the amount that is number one. So you like I said before that you don't expect um, a child of a lion. I mean, a lion to give birth um,
Good.
to goats. So he just follows that trend. So if your parents are probably very abusive, are always spanking you, and you do not take conscious effort to see that that is not the way to go, you might also bring up that style of parenting. You know, so our background usually affects our style of parenting. There are influences on our parenting. So, secondly, is also um, the issue of um, cultural influences. You know, certain climes, it is in this part of the world. If we look at parents in the African nations and compare them with parents in Western world, you will see that our style of parenting is kind of different. So this has to do with culture. In this part of the world where I come from, Africa, Nigeria to be precise, it is customary and almost like a culture for parents to be more authoritarian, right? So you see, especially in the olden days, it is now that because of the amount of knowledge, because of the amount of exposure to the Western world, people have started blending their style of leadership. You know, parenting is another form of leadership, and their style of parenting. You understand? So it is cultural and customary for parents in Africa to become authoritarian. You know, that is shouting on their kids and becoming the boss and not allowing them. It's like this boss and subordinate relationship that most African parents over time have adopted. Like I said, it is things are changing now. But if you see in the Western world, it is almost different from what we see in African nation. In Western world, parents are either permissive, you know, they're either permissive or authoritative. That is, they allow their children, they give them room to express themselves as a person, permissive. And so some of them also blend that permissiveness with your with it is with that with the authoritarian, you know, to become authoritative parents. So the culture where we naturally find ourselves affects parenting. That's two things I just mentioned. The background, the culture. Then again is our religion can also the religion part. I'm not feedback. Is it from my end? Is one of us playing
No.
with our
Okay, continue. Maybe it's from me. I don't know. Continue.
okay, so like I was saying, the third is on parenting
This
and
one.
will also be the religion aspect. So religion can also become a factor as to how we parent our children. Is it from my? I'm just hearing this feedback and
Yeah,
it's not
I
playing
think
on
it has
my
stopped.
end.
Has it stopped? Doesn't
No, it
stop.
has not stopped. No.
Okay.
Innocent, mute yourself first and let's see. Or let me mute myself.
Yeah, it's
I
from
think it's
two.
gone.
Can you hear me, innocent?
Yeah, I can hear you. I think it's gone now.
Yes, good.
So maybe it's coming from
Tony,
Terry's side. Please check if you have. Do you have two devices connected to the live? If there are, the other one shouldn't be too close to you. If you have two devices
Terry, can you
connected to the live, the other one shouldn't be too close to you. Can you hear us, Terry?
or you reduce the of the second
Yeah, you can
device?
also or you mute that one. Yeah, the feedback will stop. So let's move on. You really highlighted some very key points things that can influence parenting. Like parents, because of those things, that's the reason why parents act the way they do. Like the one we saw in the video, some things could be actually influencing that parent. And I think basically it's this social media issue. So a younger parent who knows what social media can probably do, or who knows that maybe the child will earn money from doing whatever she's doing on the social media, could be permissive in that respect. And maybe that's what we saw there, and we can't really tell. So We're still trying to look at some other things that could cause parents to be parents the way they are, or the style to choose the style of parenting they want to use. Can we have something from Terry? Are you back? Is Terry back?
Yes, I didn't go anywhere.
Okay,
I'm
okay. I
here.
thought we lost you already. Now we're talking about we're still talking about the style of parenting, like what influenced the style of parenting. So if we have one or two from you, it would be nice.
Okay, very important factors Tunde has mentioned, but there might be a few others, such as absence of one partner. So when we have single parenthood,
Net, uh,
so
your
Go on, we can hear you. Terry, are you there?
yeah, it's better now. I think I want to change my sound system. Is it better?
yes,
Well, your sound is fine. It's just like it's breaking. I think it's not the sound system. I think it's the
audio
it's the
device
network.
is everything.
Ah. Maybe you can just talk directly to your device. Let's see if your mic,
Yeah, that's
your
what I'm
device
doing
mic
now.
take it.
Okay, so let me just continue. So I was saying that this is funny. It's giving me feedback. What do I do about that?
It's giving you feedback.
Yes, it's
As in
giving-
it's echoing.
Hmm.
check everything that you need to from your end.
Let me reload the.
Okay, you can come back. All right. So while Terry is coming back, we'll look at some other. Well, Terry was going to bring us some points, but
Okay,
I think we'll just switch from that.
you mentioned
Okay.
it's not just from. Are you getting echo from my own?
No. It's okay here.
Let me be sure. Okay. So Terry mentioned single parent school. Yeah. So I think it was he wanted to elaborate on that. Or if this
The network.
echo.
Yeah. So well, I think that really affects the way parents discipline their, or I mean, the way parents. It influences parenting. Actually, it influences parenting. For instance, if you have a single mother taking care of the children, I mean, if you have like a father and a mother taking care of the children, it can never be the same as when it's just maybe the mother. When there are the two parents around, the two persons are the father and mother are there, it's easy for the mother to say something like, "Hey, you are doing this thing, let your daddy come today," because there's a stronger hand from the daddy that will take care of the child. So the child might respond from just that single statement, which the single parent do not have, because there is no "let your daddy come today." So there is nobody to continue the discipline or the instructions where one parent stops. I think that will affect how such a parent will discipline or parent the child. All right, so I think we've really taken a lot of points
I was
on
trying to talk
parenting. Okay, go on.
Yeah, so
Go back.
talking about single parenthood. So usually
So is it possible to take off the Terry's video and let it just be maybe two of us? Is that okay? Would that be okay?
I don't think that's the problem.
Okay. This is fine. Let's go on.
okay, so
It works, but let's go on.
in normal family, the man and the woman will play different roles in bringing up the child, and each of these roles are different. So generally, men usually tend to be more concerned about the growth of the child mentally, in terms of understanding, respect, understanding boundaries and all that. And then the women usually do very well in terms of nurturing emotional development and all that. So this does not mean that any gender do not try to play the other role as much as possible, because naturally one gender is more better in one side than the other. So in the absence of one partner, it requires the skill is available to make up for that deficit. It's have been very successful single players who were able to play the role very well, in their mass, for example, a leading or a widower or whatever, bringing masculine energy.
I think you're cracking. You're cracking. Your voice is cracking. I can't really get the information properly.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's breaking. It's breaking from your end. So it should not be useful if you're talking and we can't hear you properly.
yeah.
I don't know if you can do something about your network. Maybe like restarting or
Just
something.
something I would say. I don't know the problem, but also
All right. So now we are getting to the point where we talk about discipline. I want to look at the benefits and the types of discipline that you parents can give to their children, and the benefit this could have on the children. So let's have Tunde talk on that, please.
Okay. I don't know if there are. Well, this feedback is very important. So if there are people that are on our live and just indicate bad in chat or the comment section, send you the link.
Is my voice also breaking? Am I breaking? Can you hear me clearly?
Yours is very perfect.
Okay, and I think you're breaking the same way Terry was breaking. So I don't know if people are also receiving
Is it
the
better now?
audio like that. It's louder, but it's still breaking. It's louder, but it's still breaking. We're really having issue with the audio. And I'm very sure that's not why it's not because of your picture quality. That's not why the audio is.
It's not because of the picture. So
Yeah, I think you should leave the video on and touch your network properly. All right, so go on. I think your own is a little bit better. Go on.
Okay, so I was saying if there are on the live show that want to join us, maybe there are one or two things they could just
Yeah, I think we have space for like 2 or 3 persons that can join the live. So if you want to join, you have a comment and you want to show up on the live, please let us know. We would just put you up. If you also have a comment to drop, something you think will add to what we are saying or will benefit other people, or you have a question that you want to ask, please leave it in the comment section, and we are surely going to call your name when we get to you. Right? Let's go on to the please.
Okay, so you asked about discipline, right?
Yeah, sure. I said discipline, types of discipline, and how our children can benefit from them. Yeah, I think that's what we're looking at.
So there are different methods of disciplining kids. we have the method of using denial. Yeah, these are no academic. I'm just giving this based on my experience and what has happened from my own end, from many of my parents as our parents. So we can use the denial method, which is to deny them of some privileges that they have hitherto enjoyed. Maybe denying access or freedom to screen time, you know, letting them, denying them from certain privileges like
Tunde is
taking
breaking. Your side is breaking so much. It's breaking so much from your end.
just hold on, let me restart my
Terry, can you hear? Can you hear very well? Can you hear us, Terry? Terry, can you hear us, please? Can you hear me? You can hear me, but your side is also breaking very seriously. So, and I can't hear. It's like you're muted. You have to unmute
I
yourself.
can hear you.
Okay, fine. Your sound is better now. Okay, your picture is even better today. Okay, so let's have a comment on what Sunday was saying. We're talking about discipline, the types of discipline, and the benefits that comes from them.
Yeah, is network better now?
Yeah, it's better. It's clear. Perfect. Perfect.
Still the same. Well, next time we're going to work on it. Anyway, so what you were saying is very important. I'm not enjoying this kickback at all.
Are you good? You're still hearing the feedback?
Yeah, just it's keep the sound. Yeah,
Coming back to you. Atunde, can you speak? Can you say something? Are you okay?
yes, I am. Still hear myself.
But I'm suggesting that you guys don't use the mic, like use earpiece or something. Just speak to your devices to catch it. I think the mic, that's what I'm using. I'm using my device mic, so I think that will not.
The next live, I'll change my device. I was this present device cannot mic something is having issue. I mean,
Okay, we're really progressing, but wanted to look at the disciplines and the benefits of the different types of discipline. So if we have a stable network from any one of your end, we can just give a few points on that because we spent a lot of time already.
okay, so like I mentioned, denial is one major method to use in disciplining your children. And another way is communication. Sometimes you look at communication as not method, but it would be a veritable tool that you can use in disciplining the children. There are words that can uplift the children, and there are words that you say that will make them to rethink. You know, while I was growing up, I can't count how many things that my dad thanked me. You know, so but every time he speaks to me, I get back inside. I am, you know, I'm very upset and angry with myself. Can you hear me? Can you still hear me?
Sure, go on.
Okay. So
So
communication,
communication, what you say
can be a way of
can be a
discipline.
way of discipline.
You can give them
You
disciplinary
can give them
talk,
disciplinary talk,
and then
and then
some other people
some
will
other
see
people see
spanking as another
sparkle as another
method of
method
discipline.
of discipline.
Yes, that could
Yes,
suffice,
that could support.
but it all
But
depends
it
on
all depends on
the part of the
the
country
part
you
of
are.
the country you are.
I know that in
I know
Africa,
that in Africa,
it doesn't matter
it
if
doesn't matter if
parents spank the child.
parents spank the child.
In developed
We
nations,
develop
you
nations
see it
see it
as abuse.
as abuse.
So it all depends on
It all depends on
the part of the world you
part
are.
of the world you are.
But I really think that's why we are having this conversation, because as we grow up, we realize that it's called development. We're developing now, so we are no longer where our parents were in the time we call the olden days. If not, if we wanted to stick with our culture, we'll probably still be building houses with red sand or tashes, right? So we are developing, and so we need to adapt good things. If the method of parenting or the discipline, I mean, is better, why won't we adopt it and have better children instead of?
Okay, so
So
this this thing I
thing
mentioned
I mentioned
is highly debatable.
right
Because I was talking about
about
if it is
if
actually
it's
good to spank
to start
your child
the
because
child because
Can you be a little louder? Can you be louder? Just be more vocal.
so I was saying
I was saying that
Better.
okay, so
so
this thing is highly
this is
debatable. Spanking is
spanking
a
is
method
method
of discipline
to discipline.
because, like I said,
Because like I said,
in
this
Africa,
Africa,
we do not see it as any but you know,
or
if I follow the holy
you
books,
know, if I
the Bible says the Bible says
Bible
that
says the scriptures, the Bible says that
and you spare the
I
knowledge
will spare the knowledge
and
Spoil the
what
child.
and spoil the child. So
what I've spoiled the child.
so that goes to tell
So
us that
that goes to tell us
even
that
from the religious
even
perspective
from the
and
religious perspective and
point of view,
point of view,
spanking is not
it's not
it's not disregarded.
That might be true.
But again,
but again,
Okay.
like I said, it is a debatable
it's debatable
topic or discussion.
topic or discussion.
Some people might not agree
Some
to
people
that.
might not agree to
There
that.
are other ways that you
There are
can
other ways that you can
discipline your child. So by all means, first of all, explore other means
explore
before
other
you
means
resort. Spanking the child should be the last.
spanking the child should be the last.
You must have communicated, talk to the
You must
child.
have communicated, talk to the child.
Have you talked to this child on
Have you
this
talked to this child
behavior?
on this
Let's say let it be a
Okay, I think we can drop. Can you drop the other one if there is coming up on another one? Another. All right.
so maybe I should even do the same
So
too.
maybe I should say to it.
Am I getting
Am I?
feedback? Are you
You're good. You're good, man. You're good. Go on.
so like I was
Your
saying,
voice is just
So like
okay.
I was saying,
my voice is low.
my voice is low.
It's just okay. Just make sure you're talking to your mic the way you do. It's cool.
Okay. So like I was
So
saying
like
that
I was
it
saying that
is debatable. But even from what the
but
Bible
even from
has said,
what the Bible has said,
Bible recommends
Bible
that. But by
recommends
all
that.
means,
But by all
make
means,
that a last
make that
resort.
last resort.
Communication must
Communication
always
must always
be
be
adopted as
adopted
a way of
as
discipline.
discipline.
How many times have you
How
spoken
many
to
times have
child
you spoken to a child
concerning a
concerning
behavior that you
behavior
don't like,
that you don't like,
that you want them to change
that you
from
want them to change from
before you resort to
before you
other
resort to
methods of
other
discipline?
discipline?
So,
So,
like we said the other
like
time,
we said the other time,
deny them from
deny
some
them from
privileges,
some privilege,
communicate with them,
communicate with them,
Then even before the
Then even
spanking,
before the spanking,
use
you
other
use
other method like
other method
punishment.
like punishment.
Punishment, well,
Punishment, well,
synonymous to discipline,
synonymous to
but
discipline,
can
but
be
can be
what we call punishment
what we
can be
call
something
punishment can be something
kneeling down,
kneeling down,
to do
to do some
small punishment,
Hard
some
exercises.
hand
We
exercise
can't
and all.
forget.
exercise and all.
We can't forget pin down.
Back in the days,
Back in the days,
back in the days, when we used to
Yeah.
have
when we used to have
when we used to have
when
a
we used to have
very
a very
stubborn math
common
teachers.
math teachers.
You won't forget that. They tell you pin down and you spend 1 hour and you won't try that stuff again. So I wanted to make a comment on your reference to the scriptures where you talked about rod. The rod of discipline might not necessarily be a literal rod. It could also be all these other styles, all these other methods or types of discipline that we're talking about. So you could actually be using rod on your child if you deny them of something, or if you give them exercise to do, or whatever discipline you want to. It's just accept. It's generally not acceptable to hit your child. Yeah, if we can, by all means, let's not do it. Let it, like Tunde said, let it be the last resort, because there are so many other better ways you can actually discipline. All right, so Terry, are you fully back? I think your network is better.
Yeah,
Can you
I'm
talk?
back.
So the video is fine, it's not perfect. Let's see how the other looks like. I think
I will manage
the
to
audio
talk.
is still suffering.
Yeah.
I think it's still suffering. Okay, let's have it. We're almost at the end of the program. But we need to know what are some of the disciplines
I don't know if I change
types,
location. Maybe
what are
that
the
will help.
benefits? We've not talked about benefits, so we need to talk about benefits. I think you're still breaking. So today was so fun. I don't want this connection lost to connecting. Is it my end now? God. What the hell?
Another thing we can do is for everybody to mute while I talk. Maybe that may help.
Hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Connection lost. Reconnecting. Why?
Let me mute everybody while you talk.
So why is this in connection lost?
Terry, please, you can talk. You can talk, Terry. I will mute myself. We can't hear you. Or mute yourself, Terry. Talk. Talk. We can hear you now. Go ahead.
Okay. So, concerning this issue of disciplining, it might be a very sensitive one, but it's good to clarify that discipline is not supposed to be a negative terminology. Just like you said, discipline is every method that we use just to make someone realize or reflect on his or her action. Adults can also be disciplined. So when someone calls you to counsel you about something you have done in a wrong way, it's a form of discipline. So that said, you've talked about some of the methods of discipline, like removing certain privileges. There is others like having time away, like taking the child out of a particular situation, especially when the child is throwing tantrums. You might just need to take them to a quiet place so that they can reflect on their actions. That's also a form of discipline. Another form of discipline might be encouragement, giving encouragement, praise, or sometimes rewards to um to reinforce that kind of behavior, and make the child know that, oh, this type of behavior is a good one. It's a kind of discipline. Sometimes it might be the reverse, which is punishment that follows a particular action, such that the child knows that this is not acceptable. Such punishments can now come in different forms, as the case may be. Talking particularly about using the rod, like you said, the rod is not actually a physical rod always, so as people may think. Um, Using the physical rod is a method that a lot of cultures have used, and I would say that the truth is that it's very easy to use. It actually sometimes reflects laziness, because because it's quick. It gives you quick results, and the child complies, and oh, everybody's happy. But most times it doesn't give lasting results. So that is why, with awareness now, people are now beginning to learn that, oh, that impulsiveness to just say beat the child and let him learn might not be the best, but rather look for ways that would be more productive. Communicate with the child, negotiate with the child. Negotiation can be in the form of trying to find out if he even understands the implication of his actions. Sometimes these children may not even know what you're talking about. And in fact, that's the worst time to discipline a child, when the child doesn't understand what's wrong he has done. So those are very important. However, there is an area, a gray area, um, that might be up for debates, and that is when you are dealing with difficult children. So children who do not seem to respond to negotiations, attempt at communication. They just seem hell bent at doing what is in their mind. And for these areas, some people would tend to say that some stricter form of punishment might be welcomed. It's an area for debate. Live in a country that completely outlaws any kind of physical punishment, and so I will try to respect that. I think the benefit of this kind of law is that it makes parents to be more innovative, to think of better ideas to achieve the same aim. I will also want to stress that sometimes these difficult children might need help. They might actually be suffering one or two mental health challenges that is not really the fault of the child, but we just think that, oh, this child needs discipline. Sorry, let me close the door. So I think basically those are some of the points I just wanted to highlight when it comes to this aspect of discipline. I feel that this can even stand alone as a topic for a week. We'll just even discuss more about discipline. I think there's a lot to learn from there. But hopefully we've been able to touch some important points. At this moment, I'm not able to check the live to know if there are responses, or if anybody wants to come on to give their own ideas or suggestions. So I will mute for now. I don't know, whoever is responding should let me know if the sound improved after I muted. After this method of muting.
The sound improved. Sound improved. Can we hear me?
I can hear you very well.
Okay. Innocent, we can't hear you. Innocent, Innosoft, please unmute yourself. So, before we get um, what's innocent, so someone listed the types of discipline, which are the positive discipline, gentle discipline, boundary-based discipline, behavior modification, and emotion coaching. The explanations of some of these things that were mentioned are things that we have said, but I try to make it relatable so that we are not too academic in our approach. That's why we do not want to list all of this style. So I hope we all understand. We're trying to be as relatable as possible. So we are gradually coming close to the end of this life. Um, Innocent, are you back with us? So, Dr. T, what is there to still talk that we have not mentioned? Do you have any on the final note? What and what um, are we not touched tonight?
Okay,
Innocent,
can I talk?
go ahead.
So, like you said, we try not to be academic, and we can come here and quote different things, but at the end of the day, will this really give as much impact as if we try to let people understand this topic at the level that most people understand it? I just felt that we might not have completely covered the factors that influence parenting. I think then the network was really a problem. I just hope the next time we might have a better outcome in terms of quality of the presentation, especially in terms of network. Anyway, so I just feel we might need to just consider some other factors we might have left out. We've talked about single parenthood, how it influences um, parenting, and the fact that people in such situation will need to do even more than they would usually do. Um, they need to be conscious of the fact that they need to make up for the deficits of the absent partner. There's also the aspect of generational change in influencing parenting. So, if you look at almost all societies and you go back to years ago, most societies tend to be authoritarian, but as the years go by, people tend to become more permissive in their parenting styles. So if you look at it in Africa too, Africa and Asia, where we tend to have the um, more authoritarian type, you also notice that a lot of parents are tending more towards being permissive. But the caveat and the risk there is that while tending towards being permissive, people should be educated to know that permissiveness is not really the best, or if they can be more balanced in their approach, where they can bring in some benefits of the authoritarian and add it to the permissiveness so that they can be balanced. The effect is that these adults that come from such homes will be better able to cope with the stress that the society may present to them in future. In my role as a physician, I've had the opportunity to manage adults who might have come from quite permissive backgrounds, and there is a general feeling that some of them might not have been prepared for adulthood in terms of the stress that comes with it. So you might find it very difficult to manage them as patients. To give them an injection is the problem. So over the years, while growing up, they were never presented with boundaries. They were never made to understand that sometimes life is not always as you want it. And so when they enter into adulthood, it becomes a problem. And like I said, we don't really want to go to academic at all, but I believe that some of these points might apply. Even we that are talking, we will learn. We need to learn even from what we are saying so that we might know, but we become even more conscious of these things in bringing up our children. Then another factor that we miss, also because of this very bad network, is the age of the child. So the as children grow older, parenting style will tend to change. You understand? Because you will not treat your 1, 2 year old the same way you treat your 13, 14 year old. As they grow older, you tend to reduce your requirements for boundaries. You tend to let them be more autonomous in their thinking and just begin to act as a guide. Unfortunately, that is not the time, especially towards adolescents, where you want to try to start to do what you're supposed to have done. If you miss it when they were small, it becomes a problem to do it as they grow older. So that's why parenting and good method of bringing up children starts right from infancy. As soon as they are born, we start to inculcate what we want them to become. So I just hope I'm not missing out any other thing. Unfortunately, this session did not flow as we wanted, but I think we are learning. We are trying to see how we can improve our um, platform such that we can have better presentations. And I'm hopeful within a month or so we should have gotten to what we really want. That's my contribution. Thank you.
Okay. Your network is still, you are still frozen, innocent. Barely hear you. We can't hear you. You can hear us, we can't hear you. Can you hear innocent to me?
No, I can't hear him.
Okay, so it's not from my end, it's from innocent's end. Okay, so tonight has been great. We'll just implore our online uh, viewers to drop in the comment section what topic would you want us to discuss next time, because we have these sessions every week, every Friday, 8 p.m. So by God's grace, we'll be coming live again on this same page, both on Facebook and on YouTube. We are live presently on Facebook and YouTube. So we'll also be coming this time, 8 o'clock GMT plus 1 Nigerian time, on Facebook and on our YouTube channel. Our YouTube and Facebook page is at, you can see it scrolling on the screen, at Great Minds Inspiration. Also enter it into your browser, the pages will pop up both on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and on YouTube, but and TikTok. On Twitter, the X channel, it's the Great Minds. It is Great Minds Inspire, just as it is written on the ticker. So next week we'll be coming up with another interesting topic, but we would like you to tell us what kind of topics you want us to discuss next week. And if you'll be interested, if there are any of you that wants to join us in our live sessions tomorrow, we'll bring you on board and you share the screen with us. It's a platform for us to discuss family issues, relationship issues, health issues, technology, social media, finance, administration. So our niche is very broad. So last week we discussed family, and this week we discussed family. So next week we might be discussing, coming up with on another topic that is different from family related issues. But before that Friday, you will see our we will have communicated our next topic to you via our social media platforms that is scrolling on your screen and on our pages. So we join you to share these live videos and tell your friends to stay tuned every Friday 8 p.m. as we bring to you the next live. It will be a bang, to be an insightful time with us. And we hope you to get your feedback on what we should do better. Thank you very much. Parting word from um, Innocent and Terry.
Okay, I think I'm the one talking. Um, so from our side, yeah, thank you so much for joining us. If you meet the recording later, we'll still welcome your comments, especially with respect to the video we showed and what type of parenting do you think that is. Let us know if you think that there is nothing wrong in that video. Um, we will like more engagement. For now, we have so much slots to join our videos. We have a total of 10 slots and we are using just 3. So in subsequent lives, we are capable of inviting up to 7 more persons. So we hope that you can join us. We'll try to bring topics that are educative and
Relatable.
we can relatable and we can learn from. We learn every day. Nobody's completely independent when it comes to knowledge. So this is an opportunity for us to share what we know and learn from others. Thank you.
Okay, so if what's his name? Innocent, if you can't hear us, we have just come to the end of this live sessions. Thank you very much everyone for joining us. We hope to get your feedback very soon.